Hello everyone and welcome back to another AFK journey video. As you can tell by the crystals on the screen, we have a new round of the Crystal Clash event. And in this video, I want to make a guide for Crystal Clash. And the most important thing it will come down to is the teams you want to run either on offense or defense in order to get your maximum rewards. So we have a full geode here. By the way, the highest rank you can, or highest number of crystals you can attack of a geode is 1,230. That is the max you will ever find on offense. On defense, the highest you can defend is 1,600. That is important. Okay. So we have 7 different teams, and we're gonna use all 7 different basically team options, which I have come up with. I've come up with 10 different teams. We'll show them gradually throughout the course of this video. So I want to start with a team like this. You know, Damon, Shemira, and Callan with the Pack Bond spell. Really solid team option. And then you just have the Grim Executioner to further buff up the Shemira. This is gonna be with the Pack Bond spell just for more survival. You don't have to use Callan. You can replace Callan for hero like Ludwig or even Thorin if need be. But Callan is great if you haven't built, because just that extra protection, you're just waiting for Shemira to get off her ultimate, and it is game over. Like, this can even punch up in Paragon tiers. You have great protection with the Callan, and most people do have an invested Shemira. So that's a great team you can run. But another really good team that you can run is a Galahad team. So Galahad with light bearers. So basically, you only need to have 2 heroes of the same faction in order to enable the Phantom. That is a change they made to Crystal Clash, which is really a much needed change. And if you're going to run this Galahad team, you can either run Seismic Spell, really good option, or you can run Divine Favor spell. Divine Favor is going to give another buff to the Gala, and Hugin's buffing, Rowan's buffing, Gala, and then we have Tessio buffing Gala, and Gala is going to nuke. Like, look at that. It was just instant kill. It was just instant kill, and like, I mean, obviously we have a Paragon advantage, but these players also are Paragon 1 at least. Not the weakest that you would be facing. So that's a really good team option. I do have it with the Ray Cage just for like if a defense formation, if you're missing the other artifacts, but Divine Favor or Seismic would be better. Okay, this one's really good. Siren, Ravion, Lily May combo, which I also recommend this kind of core comp for Supreme Arena. And so Ravion is just going to buff up Siren and Lily May to the moon along with the Divine Favor artifact, and they're going to hit like a truck. Like Lily May immediately going to Rainstorm Ballet, Siren blocking their artifact, and then with the Divine Favor, also some energy generation. Siren's gonna get off an ultimate and clean up if needed. And Siren just has good nuking damage right out of the gate, even without his ultimate. Now, these are some weaker defenses. Obviously, we're just gonna crush them, but just to show you some different options of teams. Pandora Tasi is very good. Basically, you have the taking a Lily May interruption with that, and you have like Iron just to delay the enemies with the crowd control, and then you have Tasi in the back. Now, Blood Moon is always good with the Pandora team, but Packbone also for protection to make sure your Pandora doesn't die is also good. But we have Iron here really to try to do that protection role, because he's going to group up the enemies, kind of like delay them a bit, and you just have these bodies in the front, Snowstorm or Iron, that hopefully Pandora doesn't die. And then if Tasi can come out of the box, she's going to clean up for your team really easily. So there we have Tasi example. And apart from, and the pay to win teams I'm going to show you at the end, or some other different team comps. So here we have a Theodore Shakir comp. If you have plus 10 exclusive equipment of your Theodore and Shakir, you can run a comp like this. Now, Phalanx Rush is only because it's left over. Like, really, I would say probably Blood Moon, Divine, yeah, you could do a Blood Moon on this team. Should be good. You'll take a Lily May interruption with Snow Stomper. You have the energy boost of plus 10 exclusive equipment Theodore, and then plus 10 Shakir. He's going to provide his buff to nearby allies. And you're going to see this team. It's just called the Shakir Bomb team because it's an immediate Shakir ultimate, and boom. Or you can call it the Flying Wolf comp. In previous seasons, the Flying Wolf was called the Flying Wolf comp. Okay, so there we have that. As a team option, you don't have to use Faramor. You just basically want to complete the at least one more Wild Hero just to get the Snowstormer Phantom. Okay, now we have a Coco Perseus Zandrock team. Now, you don't have to run Zandrock. You don't, like, this is really a Perseus comp, right? Like, and Lone Gaze is going to buff Perseus so he can jump to the enemy side. But Zandrock is good. He's a really good ally for Perseus, giving him those temporary stat buffs. But if you don't have Zandrock, you can replace for another hero, whether it be a Lightbearer hero, whether it be another Mauler hero. And again, like, probably Blood... Well, actually, for this team, Divine Favor is absolutely crazy, because Divine Favor is going to buff up Perseus further with a temporary stat buff, and he's going to hit like a monster. So Perseus comp, really strong as well. And overall, it isn't the most pay-to-win option if people have invested into Perseus. Okay, now for some other teams that we have here, we've shown you most of these more free-to-play friendly teams. Now we have some of the more pay-to-win teams, so let's show you Baelran first of all. So Baelran Ludovic comp, and you can run this with Pack Bond spell, you can run it with Soothe Rain spell. Those are the two options, Pack Bond or Soothe Rain. But basically, you have the twins buffing up Baelran. You just have Velucia kind of blocking the Baelran a bit, and Ludovic just going to be healing people. And you just want to have Ludovic here to sustain up your Baelran quickly to try to ascend him. That's kind of the whole idea behind this comp. And then once Baelran is ascended, is game over. The opponent is not going to be able to deal with you. Soothe Rain spell is going to help with the Baelran ascensions with that healing, but Pack Bond spell also helps because of that survival and basically reduce the damage being received. So there we have basically that plunder. Now let's go ahead and show you some more of the teams that I do have to show you. We have another 1230 here. And yeah, you don't have to attack a 1230, by the way. You can attack people and you can look for defenses like geodes which are not very well defended. And you can even then solo them. Like if you have, you know, a lot of Supreme Plus heroes built up, you should be able to even solo. Okay, so now we have some really interesting teams. We have Alna, Harak. And you don't have to use Fae. If you have Rowan more upgraded, you can use Rowan rather than Fae. Basically, they just provide the charm quality bonus on the Harak to make him hit even more like a monster. And you're going to see this. This is absolute destruction because Harak will just snowball really quickly. And Alna keeps him protected long enough that he is definitely going to get fed and then clean up the enemy team. So really, Alna is a good partner for Harak, but you can pair up Alna with other melees like Perseus, like Faramor, Lenya, but you can also even use it in other teams, like you can use it with range carries as well. But I'm just going to show you some other teams here. So this team is really good, and you can actually run this team if you have like even one copy probably Kulu would get the job done here. Alice said Marcille. Basically, you have the protection from Marcille, you have the seismic spell because they're all going to be locked off on the other side of the field of the wall. And you're going to get the value out of that. And Marcille absolutely nukes people. And with the defensive buffs of Kulu and you have, you know, Aliceth protecting the Marcille, it's really difficult for enemies to deal with that. And now probably the top team is still the same old top team from before, top pay-to-win team, which is Dunlingr, Saida, Thalia. The reason why this is probably the top team is because Dunlingr prevents ultimates, of course. Saida is just going to stall, and Thalia is really powerful, especially with the Lucia Phantoma and Starblast spell just for more damage output potential. It's really annoying to deal with Starblast spell on this team. But you can run it with Pack Bond spell, you can run it with Soothe Rain spell for this team. Those are definitely viable options as well. Okay, so for the remainder probably of these teams, I'll just show you different Alna comps. Like if people have recruited for Alna, what other allies are going to work well with them. So definitely Faramor is a good option. And a lot of people do have Faramor built up. And if you wanted to run this and you wanted to be more free-to-play friendly, then we won't have another Celestial Hypogean here. But if you wanted to throw in like the twins, it's not a bad idea. Throwing in the twins here for another buff onto the Faramor, it can be a very viable strategy. So like for example, if we do go for a team like this and we go for the Blood Moon spell, or we can even go for Pack Bond. Pack Bond is probably going to be the overall best one. You're going to see what happens here. Basically, your Faramor is going to be unkillable. And he's just gonna destroy the enemy team, even if they have Lily May. Like he can take an interruption, and then he's gonna charge up and cast another ultimate. But yeah, Faramor is all about getting off his ultimate, and he will then nuke enemy teams. Yeah, this is all Paragon 2 as well, so it's not like, obviously, yeah, we have a big Paragon advantage, but you can even use this at the same Paragon tier, and teams like this would work really well. So let's go ahead and show you Alna and Perseus combo. So probably you would want to have Rowan or Fae. Fae is a really good option, but Rowan can also work. And in this team, you could probably go for Blood Moon spell. Like, honestly, we probably have enough survival that Blood Moon would be fine. Or you could go for Divine Favor. But yeah, so Perseus runs right out of the gate. And so, even if there's one gap in the field, the landscape, Perseus will make it through and just shred them. But if they have Kulu, you would ideally want to have Xandrok as well. Okay, so I will show you Alna Shemira, because this is range heroes also do really well with Alna for basically that almost invincibility, almost permanent protection. So like, let's say we do go for Pack Bond or we go for Blood Moon. We'll just go ahead and go for Pack Bond here. And then as a final hero here, who is going to be good to power up Shemira more? You could even think about Pandora strategies, but like, let's go for Damon here. And you're going to see this is a real force to be reckoned with, because Shemira is invincible. She's gonna get off her ultimate, and you know Shemira's ultimate is almost like, it's really difficult to deal that, and then on top of all of that, Shemira's gonna be invincible while casting it. So there you basically have it, guys, like a lot of good team options you can run for Crystal Clash. So just to go over some basic tips about the Crystal Clash event, is that when you are plundering a geode, it is important to maximize your bonuses to get the maximum basically earnings for each crystal that you clear. Like you guys saw it there, that if you deploy 16 different heroes over all of these 7 matches, then you are going to get your maximum bonus multiplier of 1.6 times. So you can either invite, you know, a friend or guildmate, and you can each have your own, because then each player's basically unique heroes are going to count towards this. So it's much easier if you have a guildmate or friend to do it. But you can solo all of them if you have a big enough roster, wide enough roster to come up with 7 different teams. Or really all you need is really 5 to 6 different teams. That is it. And you can even use them on like these easier opponents at the beginning. Like you see, they rate it based on power level. So 530 billion, you can really bring out your weaker teams or weaker heroes onto these earlier ones, and then save your stronger teams for the later ones. And yeah, you just have to get 16 different heroes deployed in total for the 7 defense geode, and you're gonna get your maximum multiplier. For the defensive side, you just want to try to, you can refresh every day until you get, like, you want to try to get as close to 1,600 crystals as possible, and then you want to invite a strong friend or guildmate. Now for defense, it's really important that you do invite someone. You do not want to do this solo, because if you do it solo, you're going to have one layer of basically your geode unprotected, and the enemy will insta clear all of them, right? So I didn't have any friend or guildmate who were really online at the time. So one thing you can do is you can even go into world chats and try to find someone who's looking for a geode, 1600, like a high geode, and they can help defend with you. But yeah, that's basically it. If you want to see the teams I'm running, they are going to be the pay-to-win ones, like Dunlingr, Athelia in the top one, because I do think this is the top overall team. And then in the bottom, like the outer ring, we're going to have, you know, the Marcille team that I showed you. But obviously, you can use the free-to-play options as well. They're all really good. It's just because I have these heroes, so might as well use them, right? And then team number 2, I'm running the Baelran team. On this walled up map, because basically it's gonna cause Baelran just to sit here for a while and just benefit from the healing of Ludovic. That was my idea. And then the team 3 is just gonna be Harak, Alna with Faye, but you can use it with Rowan as well. Faye just gives some attack buffs right away from the beginning and makes Harak a little bit better. And finally, to talk about the shop and all of your rewards, if you see here, this plundered, whenever you plunder the core of some enemy geode, you're going to get 8 of these resources. In total, 88 are needed, which means in total over the whole event, you just need to plunder the cores of 11 different geodes, right? And then these are going to be the other rewards you get, which are the other type of crystal for plundering these geodes. Now, they're 2 different currencies, and they're gonna be 2 different sets of basically subdivisions of the shop. You will want to get ideally, yeah, all the temporal essences, all the stellar crystals from the top here. You don't have to get the homestead decorations if you're not interested. From the bottom here, you'll want to get all the stellar crystals. You'll want to get the temporal essences, the twilight essences, and you will want to get the soul sigils, and you know, if you need the title, if you need the omni acorns, get that as well. So basically you'll probably want to buy out most of this shop. The other items are not as important. So that's basically it for this Crystal Clash. Hopefully this is helpful. If you guys have any other tips you would like to share about this event, feel free to let me know in the comment section down below. It can also help a lot of others out, so it's much appreciated. But thank you guys all so much for watching, and if you're thinking about making a purchase in AFK Journey, please use my affiliate link for the official Farlight store. This is the best way you can support me and also gain 5% bonus dragon crystals on your purchase. My affiliate link is in the description of this video and a pinned comment, and you can actually bookmark this link in your browser, and whenever you're planning to make a purchase, just return to the bookmark link and make your purchase. It will support me and be greatly appreciated. So thanks for watching. I'll hopefully see you in the next video, and until then, everyone, peace out for now.